So let's take a second just to start out and sort of throw to the group this whole conversation about the policy at the different levels, at the district level, at the federal level, the state level. What are some of your thoughts about where do we establish that policy? Are there appropriate policies to establish at different levels? If you could wave your wand, what would you change tomorrow? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, if I could wave my wand, I certainly would like to have all the policies done at the local level. So that's the local perspective, because I think a lot of times these issues are even school by school based. You know, we try not to make too many district decisions, or, you know, and because the more you have classroom level decisions and school-based level decisions and district level decisions, the more flexible you can be.
Well, so first of all, really, truly, we agree. We agree that we need to have good decisions at the local level, because Fairfax County looks very different than other parts of the country and other schools even here within Virginia. And so it's really important to make sure that solutions and approaches can be tailored to local districts and institutions. One thing that's important, though, and we have to think there is also a very important role when we can get groups together and transition and make sort of common goals. And that's one of the roles that I think is most important for the federal government. So everybody's interested in talking about funding, and we can talk about funding, and it's important to look at funding. But I think one of the really important roles that the federal government has is this ability to sort of convene and get people on the same page. And so I think one of the important things that the federal government needs to do is, yes, make sure decisions about implementation are at the local level, but at the higher level say, how do we get people together around some common goals and really push and say, if we're coming together in a common way, you can't just negotiate with one little district here. This is a whole bunch of districts or programs, and you really got to be responsive. And they have to be responsive in ways that they may not if you have a district of a couple thousand students.
Well, we do allow our districts to certainly adopt their own policies and make decisions locally. What we try to do as a state is kind of model best practices and put things into policy that encourage them to do the right thing, sort of. And so we do have some districts that in West Virginia, if a district isn't meeting adequate progress, or if there's a high dropout rate, something like that, then we have a number of districts that are state takeover. And so we work with those districts to try to implement policies and practices that are effective. And so we've tried in our policies to reflect that. And one of the things we do in West Virginia is model best practices, other districts that are effective, or districts nationwide that are really showing some improvement. And so we really try to look at that and bring those models in and show districts how they can be more effective and look to others.